Hi, I'm Andy, and welcome to SW Ranch. Today we got a little mechanic video that I got to do for the old Sassy Massey. Who put all that in there? For the old Sassy Massey, and it's a major upgrade that we've been needing for a long time on the old Sassy girl. So this Sassy Massey is like a 1957 4-cylinder gas. It is the most reliable tractor. Doesn't matter how cold it is, doesn't matter what you ask it to do. If it has the capabilities of doing it, it will get it done, as long as you're not doing it at night and missing the light. But this old girl has been one heck of a good tractor. I think I've talked about it before, that we picked it up for like $1,000 with a bunch of implements. It's always been a good tractor, and the only bad thing about it was this seat. And that seat, mister, is one rough riding. As you can see, the suspension wasn't all that great. A little to be desired, but geez, if you didn't have that in there, you were steering with your knees. It was awful. It put you right to the bottom. The pain in the butt. So let's get rid of that block of wood and get that done. We got to change the oil on her today, and I see my alternator wire got burnt by the muffler, so we're going to fix that also. Now, my wife bought me a brand new universal tractor seat, and I'm pretty pumped about it. I opened it up last night, and it looks so comfy. Look at the padding on that thing. Oh man, it's going to be a great upgrade. I just can't wait for it. So I'm at the Napa this morning, and I got the new oil filter and the new oil for it. And this is where I put my waste oil for the chains on the equipment come hay time. And you got to have that old oil around, because you can't afford to put new oil on the chains and just watch it go all over the place. So, and I like to oil my chains like once a week, you know, give or take a couple days. But let's get this project rolling. We'll get this new seat on there and see what we can get done. So when I got home from Napa this morning, I decided that I was gonna start the tractor up, let it warm up, just because it's so much easier to drain the oil when she's warm. Just comes out of there nice. It's just a good practice to heat it up, let her try to get everything cleaned out of it, and yeah, it just makes everything easier when you're changing new oil. Oh, that's a long-winded bolt right there for an oil plug. Oh yeah. So that oil smells really good. I mean, we don't go very long between times when we change oil. We kind of do it on a regular basis. It's a cheap, easy maintenance on your equipment. Oil change, grease, oil filter, you know, just maintain it, keep stuff up on it. And if you keep up on these old girls, they'll keep serving you pretty well. You know, there's no computers on this thing, which is fantastic. Except for, I gotta remember to shut that gas off. That's another project. I'm gonna take that carburetor apart and clean it, just because that's a pain in the butt. Sometimes you forget it, and usually when you forget it is when you had just put 10 gallons in it. You never forget it when it's almost out. You just forget it when it's almost full. What would that be? Darwin's theory, maybe? I don't know. Somebody's theory. Maybe it's just my theory. Maybe it's Andy's theory. Who knows? But so this old girl don't hold a lot of oil. She only holds probably, I think it's 4 quarts, I think. And pretty simple ordeal to change it. I don't understand why nobody would change their oil. Just do it. Get it done. Maintain your machines, and hopefully they'll maintain you. That's my theory on it anyways. So as we're letting this oil drain, we're going to start dismantling the old seat. And what a simple, you know, why does everything got to be so difficult these days? This is, you know, 1957. It was probably modern for its time, but there's 2 bolts holding that seat on. 2 bolts. That's it. That's all I can see right now anyways. And I loosened one up, and I'm pretty sure that's all it's going to be. It's just the 2 bolts. Now, what a simple ordeal. Now, you take the seat off of the old 706, which, don't get me wrong, that's the nicest seat I've ever sat in. Very comfortable. But it's it's quite a complicated series. There's like 8 bolts holding that damn thing on there. Not that I'm complaining, because I really like that tractor, but that is such a simple ordeal. I hope that the new seat has that bolt pattern on it. It says it's universal, so I guess we'll find out. But I'm gonna get this seat off, and we'll start assembling that new seat and see what it says. Yeah, so that old seat was pretty basic. Boy, it's just so nice. Look at that, all one piece. Comes right off. Oh, that's heavy though. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. I think they used some real iron on that thing. That thing's beefy. Wish I had some spray paint and it was a little bit warmer. I'd spray paint that up, but boy, she sure is a solid old girl. I'd like to take this off one of these days. Those hydraulics, I don't know if they pick up all the way or not. I've changed all the filter and everything on it. I think there's probably a pump in there. Well, I know there's a pump in there. And this you would take this whole unit off. I know there's a pump in there. And I would think that there's probably some sludge in there. I mean, I've drained it out and changed the oil and changed the filter, but something still don't seem to be, I don't know, it just seems to be that it doesn't pick everything up as high as it should. You know, you see most tractors, their forks are way up like this, you know. No matter how much I adjust that, you don't seem to pick it up. And if you drive in any ruts, like when you're taking a bale in, it'll pull the bale right off just because it only picks it up off the ground. I don't know, 2 feet maybe. I mean, 2 feet's plenty, but when you're in deep ruts that are 2-3 feet, that causes problems. That leaves your bale back there, then you're like, oh, stupid tractor, and then you're like, oh wait, it's not tractor's fault, it's probably my fault. So I'm going to check them hydraulics out one of these days. I'm not going to do it today. It's winter time, and I don't want to tear that all apart in the middle of winter. Need the new seat for winter. And then I'm going to have to put a roof on my lean-to just to put the old girl away. Maybe I'm creating a lot of work. That's all right. It's a bunch of stuff that needs to be done anyways. You know, gotta be able to put her away. I want a barn where I can put all my equipment away in the winter, and that's probably going to happen up on that new property that we just bought. So hopefully we can figure that out. And I kind of like those fabric Kwanzaa huts or dome huts, whatever they're called. I like that. My neighbor just put one up, and boy, for the money that thing costs, it is freaking cool. It's I don't know how durable they are, but man, it went up quick. He had it up in just a couple days, and they don't cost hardly nothing. And that's a big barn for the per square foot. You get one hell of a deal on those barns. So I think that's the way we're gonna go. We've talked about it, and we think that's probably what we're gonna do up on the new property, is put one of them up there, have part of it for the cows and part of it for the machinery, just to put away for the winter. And then I want to build a garage down here that we can pull stuff in, because working on stuff out in your yard in the middle of the winter, no bueno, no bueno. But you got to do what you got to do. So this is what I got to do. And changing the oil on this thing and putting that new seat on there are stuff that needed to be done. So let's get her done. All right, so let's unpackage this new seat. And I'll bet you money that this is the best reviewed seat on the interweb, because the wife won't buy anything unless it's like top rated. So we got the back support cushion, the butt support cushion, we got a frame. Holy Moses, that's heavy. Yeah. So we got the frame. Oh yeah, she'll work. There's the bolt pattern right there. There's the bolt pattern for the Massey. So good deal, good deal. Man, I'm pumped about this thing. Oh, and it's got a seat adjuster, so you can adjust how far away you are from the steering wheel. So that's really nice. That'll be a nice option, because Blake likes it differently than I do. Oh, and a weight adjustment, which would be really good, because I weigh like 250 pounds and Blake weighs like, I don't know, probably 120. So he'll be happy about that, because that the old Massey with the wooden block behind the seat, it didn't matter how much you weighed, it wasn't going nowhere. Every little bump you hit, boy, you knew it. So we're both pretty pumped about it. Blake drives this tractor more than I do in the summertime because he does most of the raking and I do the cutting and baling. And you know, if Blake's at work, then I do the raking. But most of the time, he's on this tractor and working it like a dog with that new rotary rake. We love that thing. That thing's fantastic. Now the worst part is now I'm looking for a double rotary rake. Wife always says, aren't you happy with anything you got? And I always say, yes, I am, baby. I'm happy with you. So I'm going through the box of stuff, and there's just this little bag of bolts. You know, I can't believe it's very tricky to put this unit. Excuse me. I can't believe it's very tricky to put this unit together. But I was digging through the box. I kind of giggled. I was like, this seat was made for a man. Oh. There's not a single direction in it. Pretty much, figure it out, dumbass. If you can't figure it out, you shouldn't own a tractor, I think is what they're pretty much telling you. I think it's great. I don't, very rarely do I read directions. I get in trouble for it a lot. Me and the wife were putting a bookshelf together one day, and we had to dismantle it 3-4 different times to get it right, but by God, I didn't touch them directions. So let's hope that I can get this seat together without having to dismantle it 15 times. But I can't see it being very tricky. It's a pretty basic seat, and let's get this sucker thrown together. Oh, good. I got a bunch of helpers coming over to get me going on it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you coming over, and feel free to grab a wrench and help me out. I'd appreciate it very much. All right, so there's just 3 basic components to this. You got the frame, which is a nice beefy frame. I really like it. Got the butt cushion, which looks like it's going to be so much nicer than either my foam or my coat, depending on how prepared I was. And then you got the backrest, which is going to be super nice too. I think that's going to make a big difference on the comfort and how long you want to drive this tractor for. So like I say, it's real simple. This one only takes 4 bolts, I believe. Looks like maybe 6, but I believe there's only 4, just these 2 smaller ones. I'm not sure what they're for. Maybe that's just for a different application. And then on this one, you just got the 4 bolts again. So it's an 8-bolt setup, and I gotta believe it's pretty easy. But oh yeah, there's the other 4. So I didn't see those ones up there. I just saw those 2. So you got these 2 and these 2, and these 2 and these 2. I don't see what the other 2 bolt holes are for, but looks like, I don't know what it's for. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's not for this setup, so I'm not gonna worry about it. So let's get this thing assembled. Let's get that oil put down. Give me a little more room. What do we got here for bolts? Oh yeah, simple little setup. Man, oh man, that's great. So it looks like it's probably a 1/2 inch socket. If not, it's probably a 12 millimeter or something. Nope, 1/2 inch socket fits well. Where is my ratchet? There's my ratchet. So without directions, I'm just gonna guess that the bottom goes on first. And we're gonna tip that down. Run the 4 bolts in loosely. It's a little bit awkward to do, but not horrible. Be better if that bottom plate wasn't on there, but I'm not going to go to the extent of taking it off for 4 bolts. Probably the directions would have told me to take that bottom plate off. Stupid directions. Boy, that is awkward though. Come on, get in there. You know you want to. Come on. Come on. There we go. We got her. It knew where it was supposed to go. It was just arguing with me. Let's see here. What's going to be the best way to do this? Maybe turn it. Oh yeah, just got to switch sides. So it's slotted on the back. So if you want to be able to adjust it, I would think. But I'm just going to move it all the way up, cinch these down, and call it good. and then adjust it with the slider on the bottom. I mean, I gotta believe that it's supposed to be all the way forward for the most part anyways. Just kind of makes sense. Oh, dirty dog. I think I better cinch these bottom ones up on it so she can't move around on me. Oh yeah. Oh, this is gonna be so nice. So as of right now, I'm telling you, if you need a new tractor seat, get the Beco Farm and Industrial Parts universal tractor seats. I think she got it from Runnings, which is our local animal and sportsman shop that we do some dealing with. Pretty much just when we need parts. Oh, I broke my thumbnail. Ow. Ow. I need a manicure. I could just see the lady or gentleman doing that for me right now. She'd be like, what the hell did you do to your hands? All right, let's get this back on here. So this looks like, so these up here are slotted. So it looks like you start these two up here first. Actually, I could probably start all four of them. That would have made it a whole lot easier on that seat if I would have looked at that. That would have made it a lot nicer if I would have. Damn, that nail hurts. Wow. Would have made it a whole lot easier to put that butt cushion on if I would have noticed that, but I didn't. I guess it's a learning curve, right? There we go. There we go. Simple fix. Cinch these four bolts down a little bit. Get them where they need to be. Kind of surprised they didn't lock wash these nuts and these bolts. Would have been kind of nice. Then you wouldn't have to worry about it ever coming apart. But they must figure that it's not going to. Oh boy. Better put the extension on there. I bought this like a 100-piece little Craftsman set that I keep in my truck when I'm doing stuff. It's the handiest damn little set. I like Craftsman tools, number one. I don't know if they're still made in America or not, but they used to be all the time. They were always a great tool. They carry a hell of a warranty on them. I mean, I'm pretty rough on stuff when it comes to tools. And they never question me. They just always give me the new one. It's pretty good company. Oop, come on. That felt like about 160 foot-pounds of pressure, I would say. Now let's see. Let's adjust this for me. That's probably going to be, what's 120 kilograms? What's 120 kilograms in pounds? Probably not enough. I think 180 is 400, right? Yeah, who cares? Let's put it right here. Put it 3/4 of the way up, and if it needs adjustment, it's a pretty easy adjustment. So we'll just make it work. I don't know if the old Massey's gonna know what to do with all this new stuff on it. She's probably gonna be embarrassed. So it doesn't fit on the slots like I thought it would. But it looks like these holes might be. There we go. That ought to work. Yeah, that ought to do the trick. Boy, I wish it was back a little bit farther though, but that arm, the arm on the pump hits it. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I wish this was back a little farther. It looks like I'm going to be right on the, What else do we got what else can we do here? Yeah, so that's about the only adjustment, because it won't go there. Yeah, ooh, shoot, that's no good. We'll see what it does, but I think it's gonna be, I think my knees are gonna be right in the steering wheel. So I'm contemplating. So what happens is this frame and this frame, problem is I think it's this frame on the back of here, and I can't cut that out because that would just be a mess. But if this part of the frame was hitting on this, on the arm for the 3-point hitch, I could just grind that out or cut that out and be able to make it move back farther. But I don't think that's what was hitting by the marks. It was this. There's a couple marks right there that it was rubbing on it. So I'm not a real skinny guy, but I'm not extremely fat. I'm plump, well fed. I'm well fed. That's what I'll put it. And where the seat is right now, without any fabrication, I'd have an awful hard time steering the old girl. So I'm gonna have to do a little fabrication to that frame back there and make it fit and make it work, because I'm sitting in it and I like it. So it's gonna get something done to it, and this is gonna be the seat from now on, because it's really comfy. If I wasn't, if my belly button wasn't trying to eat the steering wheel and my knees trying to eat the shifter, I'd be pretty happy. But so I'm gonna get this seat off of here and grind that section out so I can move her back, because when I'm looking at it, hold on, I'll show you actually if I can get out of here. So right now it's all the way back and we still got a little bit of clearing there. So I'm thinking I'm going to grind that plate out enough where I can at least get it back onto the slotted section, and hopefully it will work. We're going to grind it out, and I own the seat, so I'm going to do whatever I want to it. So in the back, I mean, there's quite a bit there. My fingers are pretty big, and that's a pretty good sized gap there. So I'm going to grind that plate out. Let me see if I can move that. I'm going to grind that plate out right here. Just kind of give it a quick moon. And then I should be able to move this bolt up into here. So that should give me a couple inches at least. I don't know. We're going to find out, because I definitely cannot fabricate that. And this definitely can't be fabricated. So this is my only option. We're going to attempt to fabricate that. What happens if I move that forward? Will that seat go back any farther? No, that's as far back as that seat goes. So, okay. So I definitely have to fabricate this out. So I'm going to go get the grinder and do some fabricating. That's definitely a lot farther. That's good. Oh shoot, it was up on there though. Well, that's as far as it can go. I guess we'll put a nut and bolt on there, cinch it down, and then we'll know. I mean, it moved it. So that's almost, that little fabrication brought it back almost 3 inches. And I would think 3 inches was quite a stint. We'll have to tighten her down, check it out again to make sure, but I think that's going to be far enough. It looks better. Looks a whole lot better. I kind of knew right off the bat. The first time I put it on there, I was like, oh boy, that looks close. So you can usually you can barely get your foot between the shifter and the seat on the old one when it was in the right placement. And this looks like I got more room than that now. So hopefully it's right. I don't want to take it off and do it again, because I don't even know what I would cut out of there, because this bracket here goes right back to where that arm's got to be. So there's not a whole lot of fabricating you can do there. Oh, I can already tell that's better. Oh yeah, that's much gooder. Much gooder. I'm happy with that. Still gotta adjust that seat up a little bit, but maybe being down low, would be better. But the problem is that this thing's got a straight up clutch, so you push down instead of in. Now most clutches you would be pushing this way. This one's This one's up and down, so you kind of got to be high up on there, because if not, it's tiring trying to pick your leg up there all the time when you're really shifted on it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. That's the only design I don't like about this tractor, is that clutch, but it still does a good job. And there's no way to fabricate it to make it work any different. There probably is, but I'm not gonna do it. All right, we got the big upgrade on the Sassy Massey all done, and it is spectacular. I love it. So much better than the old seat. This was the old seat. Not a whole lot of cushion there, and zero suspension, zero. And used to have to store my cushion up in here. Ah, look at that. I can take that out of there now. Man, I don't know what I'm going to do with all these upgrades. Pretty soon I'm going to have to add air conditioning, radio, and I think the air conditioner works. The faster you go, the cooler it is. And the radio is the hum of the engine. No prettier sound in the world than the hum of a good engine. Back in her, make sure that's cinched down good. Yeah, get on there. Such a long threaded bolt for an oil. I guess it's good, because then if it loosens up for some reason, it takes a long time for it to fall out, but usually you don't just finger tight these. So it should be on there pretty tight. Yep. It's a big bolt too, 1 1/16. The one on my truck is, the one on my truck's only a 1/2 inch socket. So I don't know what that works out to be for bolt size, but they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I think these big ones are kind of the way to go, because you can really get some meat on them, but that's probably why they do them smaller now, so you can't get quite so much meat on them. Strip them out. This is a pretty basic setup. Here's your oil fill. Oh, here's your oil fill. See, I knew that was kind of like that. So I brought the multi-purpose tool out for it. Because it's been, I've done it before, and it's always been like super tight, and I'm not sure why. You would think being the oil cap, it'd be loose. Or at least well lubricated. There we go. This takes a little bit of torque. And like I say, I believe it takes 4 quarts. I use this 1030 in these old tractors. This one anyways. In the International I use, what is that? I can't think what it is right now, but there's a certain oil so it doesn't create high ash to run in the Internationals. The International takes a lot of special stuff. This old Massey, she don't care what she gets, as long as she gets something good. So the oil filter for the old Massey is I use Napa Gold filters, and it's a 1010. So it's real basic. It comes with everything you need. It's pretty handy. This one's even really cool. It's got a little handle on it, so when you want to pull it out, that's pretty neat. The other one didn't have that. They must have upgraded. So here's the oil. She's nice and clean. The container's nice and clean. We're gonna shove her back down through there. Maybe. I'd like to think we're going to. She's tight. Oh, there we go. We got her. You gotta line the 2 holes up and get the bolt through there. Come on, baby. Get in there. Yep, there we go. This rubber seal will make contact. What's that paper washer for? I'm not sure what that paper washer's for, but I think I'm going to reinstall it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, and what's it going to matter if I got an extra washer on there? Yeah, I think I'm going to reinstall it. I'm going to install this new gasket on the block. Let me put this one down. So we got a nice tight seal all the way around. No oil leaks. Yeah, I'm not real sure what that paper gasket's for, but we'll run around there. It's not going to make a difference if it's in there or not. It's spring loaded, so that bolt can't come loose, which is pretty ingenious. So we just spin her down on there. I didn't bring a grease rag out with me. So we're just gonna spin her down on there and we'll start her up and get some oil flowing through the old gal. I do an oil change on my equipment or my pickups or whatever. I always like to spray everything down with a brake cleaner because then you can see if there's any leaks on anything that you've done. So we just give her a quick bath. Anywhere there's an oil, you know, like the filter and just around the oil stuff, I'll do the dipstick and I'll do the dipstick and I'll do the fill tube just to make sure that nothing's leaking. It's important to know what's going on with your tractor. Like as I was looking at it, filling the oil up, I see that spark plug has got some blow by. See the wetness on it there? That shouldn't be. I mean, these ones have got basic stuff on it, but I'm probably gonna have to do something with that spark plug here this year because that's an issue, and we can't have that issue. Looks like my carburetor shutoff is leaking too. So looks like I got a couple things I gotta address. I guess we'll figure that out because we can't have gas leaking. Gas and oil can't be leaking. That's no bueno. Maybe I'll spray that off and blow it off with the compressor and see exactly what we got going on. I'm not sure why that shutoff valve is leaking though. That's no good. But it's good to spray your stuff down because then you can see what you got going on. You know, if there's any serious leaks or if there's something going, just like the spark plug, you know, I'll know better now what's going on with it if there is something going on with it. Kind of get the crud off of her, just see what's going on. We're going to want to give that a few seconds to dry up. I'll hit it with the compressor and see what it's doing. I think that's going to look pretty good. Let me go get the compressor. Crazy dog. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, you crazy dog. Yep, it's quiet now. Investigate that spark plug that had a bunch of fluid around it. And come to find out, she was just pretty loose. I mean, it's not overly loose, but they can't be loose. There's a lot of pressure behind them puppies. So I think that ought to stop that problem, I hope anyways. I checked the other ones, and that didn't seem to be a problem in any of the other ones. So I think that's all that was wrong. I probably will have to give this thing a tune-up here sometime soon. I don't think I've ever done one to it. I've owned it for, I don't know, 3-4 years now probably, I'd say. That'd be a good guess anyways. But look at how much cleaner that is now though. Doesn't that look much better? Much better. A little brake cleaner and a little air goes a long ways with oil and grease. Well, I started the old sassy Massey up and ran her here in the driveway for 4 or 5 minutes, let her get warmed up, see where she was going to push oil around to, make sure everything wasn't leaking. And lo and behold, this is why you spray everything off, so then you know for sure there must be a O-ring or a gasket in back of here that's gone bad. So I'm going to have to get online and see exactly what's going on so I can get that fixed, because I don't want that leaking. Don't want to be leaking any oil anywhere. But we're going to take you for a quick ride down the road and try out that new seat and see what's going on with it. Maybe it'd be a... What are you being so mouthy about? What, are you happy that I got the tractor fixed? Huh? What's wrong? Holy smokies. You're being mouthy. That big guy's never mouthy. Wonder what's going on. There's something going on in that coop. Wonder what they're complaining about. What's wrong, Mama? What's wrong? What are you complaining about? Oh, well, there's more nesting boxes. Get in another one. There's a bunch of them in there. Just get in there. There's one in the nesting box that she wants to be in. You're okay. You didn't need to get out. Boy. Damn hens. Chickens are crazy. Chickens are just crazy. But I'm going to fire up the Massey, let it warm up again for a minute, and then I'm going to take her down the road and see how she does and how that new seat feels. I got a feeling it's going to be pretty amazing. All right, so first impression of the new seat, it is phenomenal. Look at the suspension. Oh, baby. Oh, that's nice. So we're gonna take her for a cruise down the road. Check out how she feels going down the road. Better put it in reverse. The old Massey's only got 3 gears and then a high-low split. So she got 6 gears. Oh, 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 oh. And anything high is too fast for it to do any field work. And anything in low gears too slow for it to go down the road. So when you put this thing in 3rd gear, she'll cook. But boy, I love this new seat. It's pretty freaking nice. Feels like I gotta recline it back a little bit. Feels like it's too straight up and down. But I sure do appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch me live my life on SW Ranch.